Sonic sucks. Is it fair for me to say that? Given the rollercoaster history of Sonic, I think it's perfectly acceptable, at least at some points in this history. He's one of the most iconic characters in video gaming. Even your parents have heard of him, even your grandparents who still think the in thing is a PS2. Why is the Blue Hedgehog's history so turbulent? Why do we only occasionally get a decent Sonic game? Where exactly did Sonic go wrong? Looking back at the early 90s, the public only saw Sonic as a success. Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, the 90s were full of good Sonic games. Then there was Sonic 06. That's where Sonic went wrong. Wait, did it? Really? I don't think so. Anybody remember the Sega Saturn? If you're going to place a point where Sonic went wrong, perhaps this is it. If you played Sonic R and rage quit at any point, then you know why. Anyway, Sonic R wasn't bad, but it doesn't compare to some of the other Sonic racing games. Not Team Sonic Racing though, that game blows. What could have been a good Sonic racing game ruined by a gimmick which has you praying that your AI controlled team doesn't think, fuck it, I can't be bothered now. Anyway, rant aside, there was no dedicated Sonic game on the Saturn, like in the sense there was on the Genesis, or Mega Drive, or the Dreamcast and so on. But this probably wasn't Sonic's fault. Long story short, it was the fault of Sega, who rushed the Saturn and essentially killed it. Roll forward to 1999 and we get one of the most legendary and iconic Sonic games ever, Sonic Adventure. It's almost like the little Saturn mishap was left behind. Sonic Adventure 2 soon followed, and if you search deep in the back of your brain, you'll probably find Sonic Heroes there too. Maybe even Sonic Shuffle, the Mario Party wannabe game on Dreamcast. What about Sonic Adventure 3? Oh boy. That's for another video, I think. Sonic the Hedgehog, or Sonic 06 as gamers have dubbed it, came out in, would you believe it, 2006. It was broken, buggy, glitchy, astonishingly slow, and had a story you just wish would end sooner rather than later. The annoying thing is that if Sega had spent just another 6 months developing, optimizing and ironing out the bugs, it could have been an absolute classic. Instead, Sega tried cashing in on it and it backfired on them big time. Most Sonic fans consider this to be the point where Sonic died for them, the point in time where Sonic went wrong. But what if you completely missed the game? Whether it be a case of not even knowing it came out, not having the right console to play it on, or just chose to ignore it. Well, in that case, Sonic is still riding fairly high on the back of Sonic Adventure 2, assuming you missed out Heroes. What came after? The era of gimmicks. Sega followed up Sonic 06 with Sonic and the Secret Rings, and the less said about that game the better. But then came Sonic Unleashed. There's no doubt that Unleashed was far superior to 06. It looked better, it played better, and yeah, the Werehog levels were a bit slow and cumbersome, but it wasn't a bad game at all. And then Sonic and the Black Knight. Ugh, a new low. Weirdly, Sonic had a good few years after that with Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations. In fact, I love Generations, even with its flaws. I don't think Sonic 4 deserved the hate it got. I thought it was pretty decent for what it was, but it wasn't what the fans wanted. They wanted Sonic 4 to be more like the originals in the sense of style and visualization. We got that in the end though, as we got Sonic Mania, and what a game that was. It felt retro, and it felt fresh all at the same time. It was respectful with everything that came before it, and it set a new bar for Sonic games. But then, just as you thought Sonic was back, we got Sonic Forces. And at the risk of looking like an ass, Sonic Frontiers. Yes, I know it's only a brief history of Sonic. I'm not sure I could bear to document the entire rollercoaster ride of Sonic in one video. But based on what we've spoken about so far, let's answer the question, where did Sonic go wrong? From a casual gamer's point of view, it was probably 2006. But from informed individuals such as yourselves, Sonic never did go wrong. He's always had his ups and downs. And saying that Sonic went wrong only implies that every subsequent game after that point was terrible, which it wasn't. Sonic will forever be an icon of retro gaming, but probably not modern gaming. His competition was always going to be Mario, and I think it's safe to say that most people consider Mario to still be riding high, despite the odd misstep here and there, so Sonic is always compared to Mario. And if Mario is the bar, then Sonic has indeed fallen well below that standard, with far more missteps. I've no doubt that we will have another epic Sonic game at some point, but to fully appreciate it, you'll need to stay on that roller coaster a little longer and keep believing that Sonic has never really lost his way. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to see more just like this.